Hi folks, Baba here again. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing great. This is the first morning down here in Slovenia. The summer retreat just started, and yesterday when people had arrived, we had one conversation where one of our Sangha members spoke of her oneness experiences during the previous decades of her spiritual practice. And I wanted to talk about the problem of oneness. Oneness, this unity experience oneness is a word that gets used a lot by different spiritual teachers, Advaita teachers, non-duality teachers, and even Buddhist teachers today. I've heard even Buddhist teachers speak about this oneness, saying that this oneness experience or oneness state is the awakened or enlightened state. But the thing is that it isn't. So, first of all, what is the oneness experience? What is that oneness state? And then I'll explain why it is not the awakened, enlightened state, but a samsaric one, a subtle samsaric one. So, when the basic state of mind of ordinary human beings, ordinary samsaric deluded beings, is that of being entangled with a sense of self, and this sense of self, me or I, me-ness, I-ness, is stored in those thoughts and emotions and reactions and memories. And when we are speaking of, in Buddhism, it's called insight practice or emptiness insight. So the Sanskrit term for that is vipassana meditation. Sometimes it's translated as analytical meditation. So this is the wisdom pragya side in Buddhist meditation teaching. And on the Hindu side of things, this is called knowledge, jnana. So it's that same wisdom knowledge. It's exactly the same principle. It's supposed to, and to a degree, it gives exactly the same insight, exactly the same awakening and awakenings into the selfless nature of mind. So the ordinary state of a deluded being is where this sense of self is spread throughout the whole mind and subconscious. And then, because we believe in this sense of individual self, we believe in this entity of me, I, me-ness, I-ness, is why we are deluded. And then when first awakening experience happens, second awakening happens, third awakening, what these awakening experiences are, there are momentary cessations, momentary ceasing of this sense of self, me or I, so that this sense of me or I is completely absent. So you have this very clear mind where ignorance, avidya, is completely gone, and this natural, spontaneous wisdom mind, pragya mind, selfless mind, shows up. And this creates the insight. Insight means that you see the nature of mind where there is no this self-delusion, and it's selfless. Okay, but so I've seen this many times, and I guess you could say that I experienced this myself back in the day, early on in my emptiness insight jnana pragya practice, where I would have those openings, awakenings, and then the what was left of the sense of self delusion would kick back in. So it would re-emerge. It would come back. It wouldn't come back exactly the same. So awakening experiences really took place. So something had changed, but some of it came back. And this is exactly where this oneness interpretation or understanding of oneness comes into the picture. So, as you might have heard, non-duality teachers, even some Buddhist teachers, speak about this oneness and like this unity experience, that you feel that you're one with other people, you're one with all life, you're one with everything. But this is actually, while it is better than the ordinary unawakened deluded state, it is not the the emptiness insight jnana practice goes much deeper. So it's actually a good term if we think of the term advaita, which is non-duality in English. So if we think of you, so in the deluded state, everything is split in two because there is me and there is other. So duality. And then when we gain some insight, we shake off or get rid of the other. So only one remains, oneness. But this is what I'm trying to say is that this is still deluded state. Because there is still a sense of oneness, and that oneness means that there is still a subtle entityness, subtle sense of me-ness, I-ness, a great self, big self, oneness self there. So this, when we, this is really well explained in the teachings of the Buddha, in the teachings of emptiness, shunyata, wisdom, pragya, that if we want to completely, entirely see through self-delusion, this avidya klesha, poison of ignorance, even this one unity we need to see through, so that when we see through it, we land on zero. We land on zero. And that's a far more, it is like the profound, there is definitely profundity there. It is far more, I hesitate to say deeper than oneness, but it's like a ground. They often use this term like groundless ground, which suggests that it's not a stance, it's not a state, but it's the ground of everything. And in this groundless ground of everything, in emptiness, in zero, you don't feel that, oh, now I am one with everything and everything is one with me. You don't have that notion. You don't have that sensation, feeling of this great, big, cosmic self where everything is one. But you enter this really the root of all things and all beings, the root of it. And in that root, there is just clarity. There is no sense of self, no sense of I-ness, me-ness, and therefore no sense of oneness or unity. But there is this, you just see this common nature of all things and beings. Common nature. That is, that same nature is shared, but there is no sense of unity or oneness. So the reason why oneness is a problem is because there is this subtle sense of self there, and that's why it is a samsaric state, deluded state. And yes, it is definitely better that, it's nowadays it is good that there are spiritual teachers, non-duality teachers who teach something. Something is better than not having anything, having nothing, having no teachings at all. But this is again one of the points that need to be clarified, because people are not really becoming free, liberated of samsara and nirvana in through these teachings. So once again, this is the very point, the main point that the Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, the founder of Buddhism, took rebirth to fix. He took rebirth to fix this point, but it just persists. So um, so there is still plenty of work to do, thinking about the world of yoga, dharma, internal yoga, dharma, awakening, enlightenment teachings worldwide. There is definitely plenty to do, and this is the reason why I make these videos. That even though I get like a few dozen views, at least I reach few dozen people who hear what I'm saying, and then hopefully my presentations educate and make people think about these things and take their study a bit more seriously. Okay, thank you very much. I will go and have breakfast now with the retreatants. I just finished my own morning practice here, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay, bye now. Bye.